Last night, Donald Trump took his trademark pettiness and misogyny to an ugly new low, this time targeting a popular actress. It was cringeworthy and mean-spirited, and I have all the details coming up next. Saturdays are mostly slow in the political world as most of the elite newsmakers are laying low, but not this one. Yesterday, two forces were lighting up the political map in very different ways. On the left, the energy was electric as Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez drew massive crowds in Southern California, showing the world that the progressive movement is not just alive, it's on fire. And while the left was inspiring, the right was embarrassing. Over in Miami, Trump took the spotlight in a packed arena and went out of his way to humiliate the wife of cabinet member Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'll show you that despicable moment in just a minute, but first, let's drop in on Bernie and AOC with highlights from their rally in Los Angeles that drew 36,000 people. Take that, I have the biggest crowds, Donald Trump.
Nope. It's not Bernie, it is you!
Is a criminal. A criminal found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud. Of course, he is lying and manipulating the stock market too. He is at his best making himself, the billionaires who back him, and the members of Congress who trade with him rich. Not you, not me, not the people.
But wait, there's more. Bernie also made a surprise appearance at the Coachella Music Festival. Not minding that he was born at a time when dinosaurs were still roaming the Coachella Valley, the slightly younger crowd loved his vibe. Have a look, and on the other side, I'll expose Trump's very different vibe.
This country faces some very difficult challenges. And the future of what happens to America is dependent upon your generation. Now, you can turn away and you can ignore what goes on, but if you do that, you do it at your own peril. We need you to stand up to fight for justice. To fight for economic justice, social justice, and racial justice. Now we got a president of the United States who... I agree.
And now let's transition from the inspiring to the embarrassing. Trump likes to attend UFC fights because it's a Donald-friendly crowd, and he gets to treat his walk-in like a royal arrival. And last night, RFK Jr. was also there with his wife and actress Cheryl Hines, and he's on the record as saying she's a Democrat and was not comfortable with his alliance with Trump. Watch as Trump sends her the most petty message possible.
He really loves fights.
No, he loves it. Freeland fights. Think about this. He's at the White House watching the fights. That's a crazy thought. Like, it's just crazy thought he's at the White House. The fights are on.
It's pretty incredible.
That's crazy. It's insane.
Earlier in this report, I also called the move misogynistic, and I'll tell you why. Please watch the video again, and you'll see Trump shaking hands with Dave Portnoy, a media personality with a following and influence that is much larger than Hines. He's a man who has been very critical of Trump lately. Check out the warm embrace he gets from Trump, despite their big differences.
He really loves fights.
No, he loves it. Freeland fights.
Let's break this down by first talking about Portnoy. Portnoy is fuming these days about his portfolio and how he's lost some of his millions because of Trump's tariffs. In addition to Trump cutting him some slack just because he's a man, Trump knows that he can win him back and leverage his favor if the market turns around. Trump looks at every relationship for its long-term transactional value. And then there's Cheryl Hines. She has no transactional value to Trump, so he can let his rude and misogynistic flag fly high. He didn't even like RFK to begin with and only made the deal with him so he would bring the fractional polling number that he had at the time, so there's no chance he's going to embrace his lifelong liberal wife. And now let's talk about the transaction between Trump and Kennedy. When a man does that to a woman in front of her husband, he's sending a clear message of dominance to him. Look once more and check out Kennedy's reaction because it screams of beta energy to Trump's alpha move. What better place than a fight night for Trump to show the world and Kennedy who the dirty fighter is? Knowing that Hines is a Democrat, I've often wondered what her life has been like after being pulled into Trump world after her husband sold his soul for a seat at the table. And I think we just saw the answer. The vibe is definitely more like UFC than it is Coachella. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think with a comment, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.